Mobili. Yamaha's 10 strongest cruisers. When you think of Yamaha motorcycles, the likes of the track-ready R1 and the dune-bashing Tenere 700 come to mind. But what about cruisers? Many old-school, chrome-laden, laid-back Yamaha cruisers were offered in the 1980s, 1990s, and 2000s. Some of those cruisers were not just cozy but also fast. This list highlights the most powerful Yamaha cruisers ever made. 10. Yamaha Verago 1100 61 horsepower. The 1063 cubic centimeters air-cooled is the biggest V-twin engine ever fitted onto the Yamaha Verago. This motorcycle started life with a 750 cubic centimeters V-twin in the early 1980s. Over the years, the engine was bumped up to over 1000 ccs. It is a no-brainer that Yamaha took a lot of inspiration from the iconic Harleys of the 80s and 90s. This included the overall design, the shape of the elevated handlebar, the lavish use of chrome, and the sweeping design of the seat. Interestingly, the 1100 Verago's V-twin was the smallest of the 90s Japanese cruisers. However, this also gave it a weight advantage over the Suzuki Intruder 1400. This Yamaha was refined and had a power-to-weight ratio seldom associated with laid-back cruisers, especially from the 90s. 9. Yamaha V-Star XS 1100 62 horsepower. This is the second largest of the now-defunct Yamaha V-Star lineup and shares a bit of the V-twin drama with the aforementioned Virago. This Yamaha was quite popular in the early 2000s because it offered big bike power and classic American cruiser styling for the price of a middleweight. The 2008 model had a starting price of $7,799. The air-cooled big V-twin had a raw appeal and wasn't the most refined power plant out there. The cylinder bore size was huge at 95 mm, with a stroke size of 75 mm. Its 63 pound-feet of torque thumped up at just 2,500 RPM. Despite weighing in at a hefty 634 pounds, the low-end surge of torque helped this Yamaha accelerate without being sluggish. 8. Yamaha Roadstar 1600A 63 horsepower. Dialing the engine displacement game further up to 1,602 cubic centimeters, the Yamaha Roadstar 1600, known as the Wild Star across the pond in Europe, was a gigantic motorcycle for its time. Its engine was also the world's largest V-twin ever on a production motorcycle at the time. This was a torque monster with nearly 100 pound-feet delivered at just 2,000 RPM. Its engine was a fusion of old-school and modern technology. The V-twin came with a pushrod valve but also packed a 4-valve design and a Kevlar belt final drive. Styling-wise, it's 100% retro. With curves and loaded chrome, this classic vibing Yamaha was all about street presence. In the 2000s, Yamaha also launched a bigger 1,670 cubic centimeters version of the Roadstar, but there were no major tweaks to its performance. 7. Yamaha Bolt R-Spec 65 horsepower. The Bolt R-Spec is the only big-capacity cruiser Yamaha sells in the US. It is surprising to see a Japanese brand that once stood tall with the likes of Harley and Indian reduce its classic cruiser lineup to just 2 offerings. But it is what it is. The Bolt R-Spec's air-cooled V-twin is full of character and offers loads of torque low down in the rev range. The low-slung design with a relaxed rider's triangle is the recipe for a laid-back cruiser experience. This is also the third most powerful cruiser in the under $10,000. 6. Yamaha XJ1000 TR1 69 horsepower. The XJ1000 TR1 was one of the earliest V-twin-powered Japanese motorcycles sold outside the domestic market. The unique feature of this V-twin engine was that the cylinders were banked at 75 degrees. This layout helped place the carburetors in the V, thus making the powertrain compact. The engine was also a stressed member of the frame, which further improved the rigidity of the chassis and elevated its riding dynamics. These bits helped shave a few pounds and kept the TR1's dry weight under 500 pounds. Quite impressive for a 1980s cruiser with a 981 cubic centimeters engine. Another cool feature of this Yamaha was its enclosed chain layered in lithium-based grease. This setup claimed to keep the chain in good condition for upwards of 30,000 miles. 5. Yamaha V-Star 1300 to 72 horsepower. This behemoth is the biggest Yamaha V-Star model ever made with a 1304 cubic centimeters V-twin engine. This cruiser oozed classic styling with its teardrop-shaped fuel tank, a cozy two-piece dual seat, and laid-back rider triangle. There was a lavish chrome treatment, and it gloriously highlighted its cool 2-to-1 exhaust system. While the engine visually resembled a rumbling V-twin, it was actually a very refined package. The engine utilized forged pistons for improved durability and reduced weight. This, in turn, helped the pistons complete their cycle with less force, which translated to a faster throttle response. Peak torque surged at 4,000 RPM and power was sent to the rear wheel via belt drive. 4. Yamaha XJ650 Maxim 73 horsepower. The XJ650 Maxim looks like a roadster converted into a cruiser. Its upswept, relaxed handlebar and sweeping seat design strengthen its case as a certified cruiser. This was also not your usual run-of-the-mill V-twin package. The XJ650 packed a sophisticated 4-cylinder screamer that revved to 9,000 RPM. A 5-speed gearbox sent power to the rear wheels via shaft drive. It was also quite nimble thanks to a cross-braced duplex steel tube frame that housed the engine. At 465 pounds, this was a light motorcycle, too, which also elevated its performance appeal and gave it a top speed of 122 miles per hour, one of the fastest among the 1980s Yamaha cruisers in this list. You should know the iconic XJ650 Turbo's engine was derived from the XJ650 cruiser. 3. Yamaha Roadstar XZ1000 75 horsepower. Timeless styling is the highlighting feature of the Yamaha Roadstar 13000. But masked behind its sweeping classic lines, an abundance of chrome, and a sparkling 2-to-2 chrome exhaust system, it is quite an athletic power plant. The fact that it uses a 1990s Yamaha VMAX engine, albeit detuned, hits its sporty side. Its liquid-cooled unit churns out a meaty 81.1 pound-feet of torque, peaking at under 5,000 RPM. The 2000s also saw the 1300 Roadstar evolve into a touring motorcycle with even more power, 98 horsepower and 90.7 pound-feet of torque. It is a cruiser with touring bits installed. We have not added this more powerful Roadstar to this list as it falls into the proper touring category. 2. Yamaha 1900 Star Roadliner 98 horsepower. The Star Roadliner packs Yamaha's biggest motorcycle engine with a displacement of 1,854 cubic centimeters. This was a certified land yacht, especially in its touring guise, Star Stratoliner. But that also added a fair bit of heft to the package. We are more intrigued by the Star Roadliner, a low-slung, stretched-out cruiser with close to 100 horsepower. It was heavy at 765 pounds, but its peak torque of 123 pound-feet at just 2,250 RPM. This engine fused old-school and modern technology, just like the V-Star 1300. Forged pistons with an alumite coating were present, and the cylinder bores were ceramic composite-coated, dramatically reducing friction. This was topped by 4 pushrod-activated valves and twin spark plugs. 1. Yamaha VMAX 200 horsepower. The original VMAX was a muscle bike that embodied the spirit of American hot rod. The last VMAX was a monster cruiser with 200 horsepower. This Yamaha was widely considered the first ever power cruiser and was a hoot. The crux of this mad machine is its impressively sophisticated 1,194 cubic centimeters V4 engine that started a revolution in 1985 with 135 horsepower. The most powerful VMAX is also the most powerful Yamaha road-going motorcycle ever made. Yup, A cozy cruiser is more powerful than the mighty Yamaha R1. Using a cast aluminum frame, Yamaha managed to shave a few pounds off this hefty hooligan, resulting in a top speed of 143 miles per hour. This comfortable Yamaha will mess up any sane rider's perception of what a performance motorcycle should be.
I hope to inspire you and help you learn more about your favorite theme. Subscribe to my channel and let me know what you think.